Yeah. And I'm going to turn off my mic and let you turn on, I've turned on yours. You can all go ahead and start.
Thank you, Jackie, and good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Cordell McGarry. I work with the Department of Procurement Services, and I'm here to talk to you about the DBE and Acdbe certification programs. We call this workshop the ABCs of DBE and Acdbe certification.
Cordell, quickly before you go any further, at the very bottom there on the right hand side, is that where you can click to maximize your screen?
I'm showing the screen is being maximized.
Okay. Okay, then it could be the view. Okay. Go ahead and proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
So again, the title of this workshop is going to be the ABCs of DBE and Acdbe certification. And to begin, again, the certification functions, which we have several certification programs, were all housed in the Department of Procurement Services. And DPS, as we refer to it in short, as the contracting authority for the procurement of goods and services for all the departments of the city of Chicago. Our goal is to provide them with the resources that they need to perform their functions, and to accomplish this, we work together as a team with those departments and with our vendors, our customers, to seek to guarantee an open, fair, and timely process and the procurement of goods and services. And we do that by establishing, communicating, and enforcing superior business practices, which would include the certification programs that are offered by the city. Our goals today will be to talk about the benefits of certification, the basically the entities or individuals that were qualified for certification, requirements, the application process, the documents that are needed, and then we're going to have a little discussion about what happens after the applications are submitted. So our agenda basically will cover two of our 6 programs, the DBE and Acdbe programs, or more specifically, the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise and Airport Concession Disadvantaged Business Enterprise programs. We talk about the requirements for certification, the process, and the application, the benefits of being certified as a DBE and Acdbe, and again, what happens once you're certified. So again, our mission statement, as stated earlier, we're the contracting authority for the procurement of goods and services for the city of Chicago. And with that being said, we're going to move on. So with regard to the DBE and Acdbe program, the city of Chicago is a federal grant recipient, subject to the United States Department of Transportation and Federal Aviation Administration requirements under the regulations called 49 CFR Parts 26 and 23. The DBE and Acdbe programs are more or less managed under the federal government's departments of transportation and FAA, and the objectives of the program are to basically ensure non-discrimination in the award and administration of contracts that are issued by the Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Authority, Federal Transit Authority, and Federal Aviation Authority, and 60 contracts in the department's highway, transit, airports, and financial assistance programs. The DBE and Acdbe programs are national program that there's basically DBE and Acdbe programs in every state of the country. Our goal is to try to create a level playing field on which eligible businesses can compete for government contract opportunities that stem from the federal sector. The programs provide the guidance for participation of those firms and participating in those federally funded contract opportunities. So with regard to the DBE programs, the basic goals is that the business must be a for-profit, a small business that is at least 51% owned by one or more socially and economically disadvantaged persons. We'll talk about that. And those individuals are involved in the management and operations of those businesses. And with respect to airport concessions, which would all be considered to be, say, operations that are involved in the sale of goods and services at the airport, you can also be considered as an airport concession if you provide services to those concessions, such in the way of management consultation, supplying those concessions with goods which were again sold to the travelers, as well as advertising services to assist those concessions that are operating at the airport. With respect to social and economic disadvantage, the element of social disadvantage consists of participants being defined by one of the following groups: Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, subcontinent Asian Americans, and Asian Pacific Americans, women, and also in selected cases, individuals who may not fall into those categories, but can individually prove that they've been the victims of social and economic disadvantage. With respect to economic disadvantage, the qualifying standard would be the personal net worth of the owners, and that the qualifying owners' personal net worth, which is basically the difference between assets minus liabilities, should not exceed 1.32 million after adjustments to exclude the value of their personal residence, for example, and the business that they're owning that's seeking Acdbe certification. In addition to the requirement of social and economic disadvantage, businesses are restricted to qualify under what's called a business size standard. Businesses that are certified as a DBE or Acdbe are certified based upon what the service or product they provide, and that's classified by industry standard. We refer to it as the North American Industrial Classification System, or it's also called NAICS or NACS. That system ties into the Small Business Administration's categorization of size standards for firms that are involved in those particular industry segments. Like, for example, if I was involved in, let's say, as a plumber or a trade contractor, the SBA would probably have a category for that particular activity in construction and would probably assign a size limit, which could be, let's say, for example, 16.5 million. That size standard or that size limit is considered to be what a firm would average over a 5-year period. So let's say, for example, as a small business, if my gross sales, gross receipts do not exceed 16.5 million averaged over 5 years, I would qualify as a small business. Some industries have greater size standards and limits. Let's say, for example, in some highway construction segments of the industry, a size standard could be, let's say, 39 million averaged over 5 years. With regard to the DBE program, there's a cap on gross sales after a certain number. In this case, 26.29 million, which is actually averaged over 3 years. In the event that a firm is involved has average gross sales that exceed 26.29 million averaged over 3 years, they would not be considered a small business with respect to purposes of participation. Again, if you have questions regarding this, you can feel free to contact our office and we'll help you sort that out. But information regarding the table of size standards that's published by the SBA is found in the web link that's shown below. For the Acdbe program, again, we look at 5-year average gross receipts, but there's a flat number of 56.42 million that we look at. So as long as a firm is operating, seeks to operate as an Acdbe, if they have gross sales that do not exceed the number of 56.42 million, they would be considered to be a small business. There are certain exceptions, like, for example, if you were involved in the car rental business, that number would actually be 75.22 million. If you're operating at a bank or financial institution, that number would be represented by the assets that the bank would hold, not to exceed 1 billion. If you have a payphone company, and there are still some around, you have less than 1,500 employees, you would also qualify, as well as if you're an automobile dealer, you have employees less than 250. The application process is pretty much online now, so it's electronic and it's really easy to follow. We basically require that applicants that are interested in seeking certification may go to our website, www.chicago.mwdbe.com, to submit an application. The application again is prepared online. You would upload documents to support the applications that you're seeking. And all this information is then kept in secured form and submitted electronically to the city for review. This application process for the DBE and Acdbe programs also include an on-site interview, which we would do with the owners of the business. During the, let's say, the coronavirus pandemic that we're experiencing, a lot of our interviews are being conducted via Zoom. So it's not necessarily on site, but on occasion where it's safe to do so, we would like to come out and meet with the owners. So with regard to the application process, let's get started. You would need the following documents in order to fill out the DBE Acdbe application. And this is just a sample list. It could be more or less given the type of business that you're involved in. But to begin, we need to provide evidence of citizenship or legal residency of the qualifying owners. The owners of the business should be able to demonstrate or provide information regarding the proof of contribution that's made by them to start the business. In this particular point, let me just stress that technically everyone makes a contribution to a business. Some businesses are places that I see from time to time. The owners basically say, well, I didn't contribute anything to start the business, but technically you did. It could be the cost of incorporation or the cost of legal filings that you may have encountered. It may have even been the equipment that you had to buy, the laptop that you bought, or the pens and pencils and the paper that you invested in order to prepare a business plan, or to even complete the application. Document the proof of contributions, because that's basically your skin in the game or your stake in your organization. We also look for business documents for the specific type of firm based upon how it was organized. There are several ways you can organize your business. You can start as a sole proprietor where it's just you acting on behalf of you and you alone. You can be part of a partnership, an LLC or limited liability company, or corporation. Those are the more common forms of business. There are several others, but no matter what form of organization that you do choose to operate under, you should be able to provide documents to illustrate that. So like for a sole proprietor, if you're doing business in a name other than your own personal name, then you would need to have a copy of an assumed name certificate. Going back as an example, my name's Cordell McGarry. If I chose to operate as a plumber and it was just Cordell McGarry, it's fine. If I choose to operate Cordell McGarry doing business as the best plumber in Chicago, I would need to have something that basically says that I'm operating under that particular name, or have the rights or the control to that name. If you're a partnership, you need to have a partnership agreement between yourself and the other individuals that may be part of your partnership arrangement. Limited liability company should also be able to have copies of the operating agreements that were used to create the limited liability company. And if you're doing business under a different name, they should also have an assumed name certificate. Corporations are typically identified by what's called articles of incorporation and bylaws, which define the corporation, discusses how it's to go about conducting this business. They may also issue stock for the owners. These are documents that we would need in order to evidence your organization if you chose to operate as a corporation. Additional documents that are needed are also could very well be copies of W-2s or 1099 forms for the current previous 2 years for the owners. And these copies should not just be consisting of earnings that you earn from that particular business, but all compensation that's received by the owners, no matter what the source is. For most businesses that have been around, we ask for 5 years of corporate income tax returns. Again, we need this information in order to make sure that you meet the business size standards that I referred to earlier. As well as for individuals, we also need 5 years of those individual income tax returns. I'll pause here to also state that if you have not been in business for 5 years, provide the information that you have, along with an explanation as to why. That would suffice. In the event that you have been in business for more than 5 years, you're expected to provide the information. We also ask for financial statements for the business, which basically should be consistent with your federal corporate income tax return information. There may be some variance, but we do ask for the financial statements, and that would include the balance sheet, assets and liabilities of the business, as well as the income expense statement where possible. Again, you don't have the information, let's say you're a brand new business and you haven't generated the information, just let us know. In other words, tell the story about your business. So with respect to the regulations I mentioned earlier, we do require on-site or site visit interview with the owners. That's required by federal regulations. Um, we have to do this, and this is an opportunity to meet with the owners and give us a chance to, and the owners a chance as well to discuss the business, their passions for the business, their involvement in the business, what it does and how it's done. All that information helps us to again assess the ability of the business to perform in the areas that it's seeking certification at. We will attempt to reach out, of course, to schedule the visit with you, so it's not to inconvenience you. There are times in rare instances that we might show up unannounced, but by and large, that's the exception rather than the rule. The factors that we look at with respect to the approval and denial of application kind of takes into account all the things that I mentioned earlier. And then they're kind of lumped into the following factors. So again, we just stress that businesses are certified based upon the services and products that it's provided. They're also certified by the ownership, being members of a socially disadvantaged group that have at least 51% or more control of the business. The business has to meet small business size standards as talked about by the SBA and classified by the industry classification I mentioned earlier. There should be economic disadvantage of having a personal net worth less than 1.232 million. And all these things are important because of the statistics that we look for the ownership of the business to be in the hands of minorities or women or disadvantaged, socially disadvantaged individuals that have the basic skills to manage the business in the areas that it's seeking to be certified in. So again, if I'm a plumber, I would be expected to have a background experience of the trade that I'm seeking certification on. And that's important from the standpoint that we look for the owners to have independence in the operation of their business and not be dependent upon individuals or other businesses that necessarily would not qualify under the certification programs. That leads to owners being able to control the operations of the business, not from afar, but directly on a day-to-day basis. We look at your hands-on, your role in the business, what you do, how you do it. And that kind of ties into the need for the businesses to tell a story, because the burden of proof is going to be on the business to show that they're eligible for certification. So I can't stress it enough that it's important that you tell the story about yourself, your business, what you do, how you do, and the things that go into what it is you're trying to do. If you have a business plan for a startup, great. If you don't, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't qualify. Just tell a story about your business. I mean, that's important. Once you're certified, and I presume that everyone I'm talking to today will, if they choose to apply for certification, will become certified. Once you're certified as a DE or Acdbe, there is no expiration of certification. In other words, you're certified indefinitely. However, we do require on an annual basis that firms provide us with information to affirm that there's been no changes in their makeup and their operation that would impact the firm's ability for certification. So, like for example, if I'm a 51% owner of my business and I'm a qualified individual that's socially and economically disadvantaged, and let's say over the course of a year, circumstances happen where there may be new owners that come in that aren't necessarily socially economically disadvantaged, and the total amount of those owners will constitute more than 51% of the business, then I would no longer be eligible because I no longer have the control of interest in the business. Likewise, the event that let's say my business is so successful that let's say my gross sales averaged over a 5-year period, let's say it well exceeds the threshold that's needed for certification. Let's say, again, going back to an example of me being a plumber and having gross sales averaged over 5 years of 16.5 million. Let's say my gross sales over that 5-year period now is 25 million. Again, I no longer consider it to be a small business and I would no longer be eligible for certification. So on an annual basis, we do ask firms to provide us information to affirm that there's been no changes. We refer to this as a no change affidavit. In the event that there have been changes to the business, and we consider those to be material changes, you should report those to the city of Chicago within 30 days of its occurrence. Again, that's important. And that's what we look for in terms of in order for you to maintain your certification. You can do your annual no change affidavits and reporting any material changes again online at our website. That's www.chicago.mwdbe. The benefits of being certified. Well, one of the major benefit is that you have a ticket to participate in the procurement opportunities that may come around as a result of, let's say, federal transportation contracts or contracts with the FAA or with the Federal Transit Highway Authority. I mean, those are benefits of being able to compete in those contracts. But there are other benefits of being certified. There's an application fee, for example, to go through the process. Many certification programs have to charge an administrative fee for at least process. There's no fee that's assessed for federal programs. Certification as a DBE and Acdbe can provide those opportunities, like I indicated earlier, participation in those federally funded contract opportunities, not just with the city, but with the Illinois Department of Transportation, Chicago Transit Authority, Metro, and PACE. As a body of agencies, all the agencies that I mentioned earlier are part of what's called the Unified Certification Program, which is required under federal law. So once you're certified as a DBE or Acdbe with any of those agencies, you can simply be certified with all of them. That provides you with an opportunity to participate in procurement opportunities at each and every organization that's listed here as those situations occur. So it's important that you're looking to monitor or look for opportunities, that you just don't limit yourself to one agency. Look at all of them. In addition to being certified as a DBE, Acdbe, we have a number of agencies that provide assistance to DBE firms. So those, we call those assist agencies. They provide a variety of services to small businesses. You can get more information on the assist agencies by going to the City of Chicago Department of Procurement Services website. We have a list of those agencies that are available. Typically, they would make up the local chambers of commerce, for example. Carry technical assistance centers that are designed to provide assistance to small businesses in general, and they can also provide assistance to the FAA. Through these avenues, we try to demonstrate that we have a continued commitment to the success of minority and women-owned businesses. We provide a number of opportunities, not just through our certification programs, but through our Department of other departments, the Department of Planning, Department of Business Affairs and Licensing. But our DBE program also helps to demonstrate that continued commitment, because we want you to succeed. We want you to prosper, to do well. We endeavor to try to process applications within a 90-day period from point of receipt of all the necessary information that we need to do to review process, review and determination of eligibility. We will caution you, though. For example, the key word here is getting complete application with supporting documents. We want you to tell a story as thoroughly as possible. Providing answers are not applicable without explanation of why they are applicable can delay the processing, because normally we would have to reach out to you to get more information regarding the matter of circumstance that it is. So during the 90-day certification process, in the event that we do have a need for information, we will reach out to you through our online portal. We call it the Q&A system, where we'll basically ask a question or seek clarification regarding a matter, or if there's a missing document, we'll make a request for that through that portal. We try to provide limited, 20 days or so to respond to the required request for information. In the event that we need to follow up, we will try to follow up, providing another 10 or so days to provide the information. If you're attempting to work with us, we'll work with you. But again, just keep in mind that this process can extend the 90-day certification process, but the end result is to try to get you to where you want to be. In the event that we cannot get the information we need, you will have to move on, and that will result in a denial of certification based upon the inability to provide the information that's sought. Again, I know everyone that chooses to apply after participating in this workshop will not have that issue. So once you're certified, again, I talked about the Unified Certification Program. It's one-stop certification. So once you're certified as a DBE or ACDBE, that certification is accepted by our sister agencies, Chicago Transit Authority, the New Department of Transportation, Metro Rail, and Pace Bus Systems. They're all recipients of federal dollars for transportation, and like the city, are required to have a DBE, ACDBE program. So because of that requirement, there's no need for you to get certified with each and every agency to participate in the federal contract opportunity. One agency would be Department of Procurement Services, as well as the Department of Aviation, have an alert system whereby we provide information to subscribers on contract opportunities as they come about in the city of Chicago. The DPS, again, is Department of Procurement Services, DOA is Department of Aviation. Going to those websites, you can subscribe to what's called DPS alerts, DOA alerts. And once you subscribe to those alerts, you will be sent emails on a weekly basis of every contract opportunity that comes about. As mentioned earlier by my colleague Jackie Humbles, signing up for DPS alerts also entitled you to receive valuable information that can assist you in your business planning. In the sense of providing information regarding the buying guides, which is the potential buying opportunities that will be coming about, not just from the city of Chicago, but from other agencies. We also provide additional information regarding information on procurement fundamentals, so certification fundamentals, and basically information that's designed to help you to move along. We provide a variety of workshops. We do, oh goodness, well over 30 workshops throughout the course of a year from different topics, from certification to procurement fundamentals to now that I'm certified, what now, or going through the electronic application process. This information is available once you sign up with DPS Alerts. So it's a very valuable tool, and I can't stress it enough. City of Chicago sister agencies, which would be the Board of Education, for example, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, they all have their own procurement agencies, procurement processes. And being certified with the City of Chicago can also can help you in getting participating in certification opportunities or contract opportunities with those agents. All those contracting opportunities can be found online. So I encourage you to visit those websites. Board of Education, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, Illinois Tollway. They have a ton of opportunities that being certified can only help you participate in those opportunities. We provide a list of agencies, assist agencies that provide assistance to DBE firms. Again, as I mentioned earlier, go to our website, Department of Procurement Services, if you're a list of those agencies. The typically, again, will consist of local chambers of commerce. A couple that come to mind would be the, let's say, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, the Chatham Business Association, to name a few. But again, the complete list will be found on our website, and I encourage you to get that information. I thank you for indulging me with the time to speak to you about our programs. And if you have any questions, please feel free to bring them now. My name again is Cordell McGarry. My direct number here in the city of Chicago is 312-744-7666. We have a general number, which is maintained by our certification team. That number is 312-744-4900. Feel free to call us for certification questions. We'll be more than happy to. With that being said, Jackie, I'll turn it over to you. And if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you.
Great, great, great. Thank you, Cordell, for imparting that great information, as always, with us, and letting us know what we need for certification, whether it is for the DBE or the ACDBE. If there are any questions for Cordell, the line is open. Feel free to go down to your Q&A panel, which is at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Click on it, put your question in, and we'll read it off to Cordell and he'll answer it. So I think you have a few questions, Cordell, so I will get to it. There is a question that basically says, where can I locate the list of agencies that provide assistance to DBE firms? And where can I locate the assist agencies? So, wait a minute. Where can I locate the assist agency supports available, which provide services to assist in business development? Well, if you don't mind, Cordell, I'll take the assist agency piece, and just say that we have various areas that we have the listing, the updated listing for assist agencies. We have assist agencies that come on sometimes, periodically through the time. So you have to make sure that you have the updated list, as well as the assist agencies that are already on our list sometimes update their information. But you can find it online when you go to the Chicago.gov website /DPS. You also can find it in the buying plan. If you download the buying plan, the back pages of the buying plan, we have allotted to the assist agencies. So we give you all of their vital information back there, such as, the address, the name, the address, how to get in contact with them, the website address, their phone number, if we have one for them. So you can go there for that as well. We will have an event coming up, the construction summit, and we normally have materials that pretty much have their information on that materials that we give out, and we refer to them all the time. I will also, before I end here, I'm going to let Cordell take the first part of the question while I go online to get the exact website, and I will put it in the chat for you. So, Cordell, if you want to go ahead and take that first part, I'll come back and, put the information in the box for where they can find the assist agency list.
So again, I thought the first part actually was the question regarding the assist agency and DB assistance, and that's kind of basically what those agencies do with regard to providing assistance to not just the DBE but also all small businesses. But groups like our assist agencies have that background and to be able to assist you. Groups like specific groups that come to mind that again, I know I've worked with before would be the Hispanic American Chamber of Commerce, the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, the Chattel Business Association, the Chicago Urban League. All of those are agencies that I know that are quite familiar with not just the city certification programs, but also certification programs for small businesses and other agencies. So well, certainly there's a wealth of information that's out there and available. And I'm sure when Jackie gets that information, it'll also include those agencies. But let me tell you about another agency that can provide assistance, not just for certification, but for getting your business started, getting it off to a good start. And that's our very own Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, or BACP. They have a tremendous small business assistance center that provides a wealth of information, not just on how to get licensed, but how to start your business. They also have workshops and classes that can help businesses get started. They also have contacts and links to legal assistance that you might be able to receive, or even in some cases, micro loans that can help you get your business started. So again, that agency is a godsend to small businesses, and I would encourage you to take advantage of all these resources, and certainly our sister department down the hall. We're also working on the 8th floor City Hall as well. Hopefully that answered your question. If not, give me a call, and we can kind of dig a little further to see that we get you what you need.
And let me also say, Cordell, that is the purpose of a lot of our functions that we have with the outreach. If you sign up for the DPS alerts, a lot of our assist agencies, we put on there under the outreach category some of their events. So you'll begin to get to know them because there is a host. There's the LGBT Chamber of Commerce. There's the Native American Chamber of Commerce. There's WBDC, the Women's Business Development Center. There's a host of them, and they have different functions. So you have to dig, like Cordell said, dig deep into the organization and find out if that organization is who you're looking for assistance, because they all do different things. Some have memberships, but they all do have outreach events where you can come and participate and learn more about the organization. And one last comment I'll make about assist agencies. Uh, Part of our workshop programming that we have for this year, I put on because I knew that this was perhaps one of the most important types of workshops we have as well, because we get a lot of questions about it. And we have quite a few working with the assist agency um, workshops on the docket. So look forward to those. And when you see the DPS alert and you see working with the assist agencies, go down to the bottom and just take a look at the last line. Today's workshop presenters are. And there's 3 of the assist agencies on every session. We have about 15 of them that will be presenting this year. If you are interested in and you have a little time and you're just doing a little research now, um, we will have information coming up about them. Um, I think I took care of everyone there. Did my link not go through? If my link did not go through, oh yeah, someone said I found it. Okay, great. For those of you that have any additional questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A panel. While I'm giving you a second to put that in the Q&A panel, I would like to thank Cordell McGarry for sharing his knowledge with us about the uh, ABCs of DBE and Acdbe certification. And I would say to you, if you are not one that at this time can take advantage of that information, please share it, because sometimes your friend or your neighbor or your business partner or others might be looking for the same type of information and they just didn't find us, but you did. So if you can share that information, and again, like I said, we're a little bit shorthanded in this particular department at the moment, but we will get the recordings up of this actual workshop. But we do have some archive copies of these that have been in previous months. So if someone wants to come see the links I sent out earlier, kind of give you on YouTube where you can go find it at youtube.com/Chicago DPS, and make sure that you put the title of this workshop so that you can get those recordings to come up on your screen. We also have copies of the PowerPoint, which will be put up on the website, and so you can also go looking for that as well. And if there are no further questions, which I
Oh,
haven't gotten in, oh, go ahead, Cordell.
I'm sorry. If I could just speak one final comment, and because this is important, um, it's important to understand that the DBE, ACDBE, and our other certification programs, which would be the Minority Business Enterprise, Women Business Enterprise, Veteran Business Enterprise programs, etc., are tools. And they're
Mm,
important tools to help you grow your business, to stabilize your business. They aren't a guarantee. I mean, getting certified in any program is not a guarantee that you'll automatically get a contract, but it puts
mhm.
you on par to compete for that contract opportunity. So you'll have to put some work in. You need to do that. That's telling the story. That's important that you do that. It's so important that we don't stop here and get certified and sit down what, but that we continue to move on to that. And likewise, in looking to get certified, it's a suggestion on my part that you make this part of your regular planning process as you begin to look at planning for the business activity for the year or the next 3 months or 6 months down the road, that you look at maybe making certification an important goal for you to achieve. Because the process can be involved and from the standpoint that it may take roughly average 90 days to complete. So you don't want to wait until you see a contract opportunity that's published to say, oh yeah, I'm going to get certified. Um, in many cases, the time tracks for you getting certified and making that opportunity may not come together for you, and that could be disappointing. But if you plan to make this a part of your tool as you plan toward generating business activity, as you plan toward getting your business started, then it becomes easier for you to do it. It'll put you in position so that when the opportunity comes, you're ready. That's the important thing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for
No
saying
problem.
that, Cordell. Because don't put off tomorrow what you can do today to get yourself prepared because the contracts are coming. Excuse me, the contracts are coming and they are here. And that's the purpose of the buying plan is to show you all of what the city has to offer as far as opportunities are concerned. So I say to you as well, that is an excellent point. Make sure that you are ready. And if you are doing, just like I said, a little research now, you're in a great place to do that. So to take the next step to start working on some of these things. And if you need help, reach out to either our agency, like you said, BACP is a good place. Any of our assist agencies are good places because you get different information that you can store in your Rolodex and use as resources. So when you get to that point and you really need that resource or information, you can draw from that. Well, we don't want to keep you any further. No, you have to get back to work. So I will say thank you, Cordell, and thank our participants for coming and participating in today's workshop. We hope to see you again at another workshop. Keep in mind, our construction summit will be on March 24th. We have 5 great user departments that will come and talk about opportunities with those departments in different types of construction fields um, and perhaps other opportunities that they have within the department. So we look forward to seeing you often back here at the Department of Procurement Services Workshop Central. So stay safe, stay well, wash your hands, social distance, wear your mask, get vaccinated, get your second vaccine, get your booster shot, get whatever it takes so that we all can join together and be back in a room and network as we used to do pre-pandemic. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, Cordell.
Oh, thank you. Take care, everybody.